Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You okay, dudes? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Genevieve, and on this channel I talk about all things motherhood and usually fill my days in the life with my little boy George. So today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. It's difficult for me to talk about at the moment because I am going through some mental health issues, and I thought what better way than to try and help me through this mental health, this difficult, mentally difficult time, than to chat about how I deal with my mental health when I'm a mum. So, as I'm sure some of you are aware, in my previous videos I have talked about my anxiety disorder. I have what's called, well, I guess I've had a diagnosis of what's called generalized anxiety disorder, and there are periods in my life where it, out of the blue, just I get palpitations, nausea, shortness of breath, just a constant feel of dread and worry, and there's things that do trigger it, and currently my job is very busy. It's an emotionally it's an emotionally exhausting job, and I have found recently that my anxiety has got to a level where it's affecting my daily life at the moment. And if any of you guys deal with anxiety as well, or any mental health disorder, I'd love to hear your story down below and we can share our experiences. But as a mum, dealing with anxiety is difficult because ultimately you have to put your children first, and that is hard sometimes when all you want to do is lay in bed and not really do much. And I just wanted to talk about how I cope with that and how I've been dealing with it recently. So the last few days haven't been good. I was at work over the weekend and during the week, and we were very busy, and I did have to deal with some calls that have affected me, and at the time I just haven't really... At the time, I'm quite tough at work. I feel like I've got quite a thick skin now. I have been doing it a while. But just recently, it's really triggered me. It's triggered my anxiety quite a bit, to the point where I've actually been signed off for a week, just to take some time to process and just acknowledge that my anxiety is sort of in a bad place at the moment. So yeah, and the last few days have been hard. Like, I've obviously been at home with George, and it's been hard because you want to be the best mum or parent possible, but it's difficult when you're feeling really low, you don't want to do anything, you're constantly on edge like I've been. And the way I've been dealing with it is probably not the best way. Like, I've been staying up quite late, watching just videos on YouTube. I've not been able to sleep, and just not really eating properly, not taking care of myself. And yesterday I made the decision to actually acknowledge how I was feeling, and that is the first step. When you're a mum, you forget about you, you forget about yourself and your own needs. They don't come first anymore, and I had to take it on and acknowledge that no, I need to stop and think about how I'm feeling and the reasons why. I won't go into detail about the things that have happened at work, but they're things that I've had to deal with on calls, not just one in particular, like several, to be honest. And today I was supposed to be at work today, and I've decided to send George to nursery still and just take some time for myself. And obviously here I am now. This is something I enjoy doing, and talking to the camera is like, you know, it's easier to talk to the camera than a person. I feel like it's really strange. I'm just sat here in my room, like on my own with my dog and my cat, and it feels good to like acknowledge it and talk about it. So yeah, I'm just taking the time this afternoon just to process, take some me time. It's really important that as mums we take me time. It's vital, you know, you need that time for yourself and to remind you of who you were before you were a mum. And so that's the first step I've taken. The second step I've taken, and I've been quite lax with it lately, is exercise. So I haven't been going to the gym as much, and I think that's also partly to blame as to why my anxiety is sort of taken over my everyday life recently, is because I've not been going to the gym, and the gym, like exercise, is absolutely vital for your mental health. Like, it helps so much. You get those happy hormones going, even if it's just going for a walk. Like, you don't have to do anything strenuous, but even if it's just going for a walk, a nice long brisk walk, and that can really clear your mind and really help. So I actually walked to nursery with George, so that was quite a long walk, and it's done me really good. And then last night I actually went spinning, and I felt so much better afterwards. It was just like the polar opposite. But then I noticed, like this morning, I'm still waking up with the palpitations, the nausea, just the general feeling of dread, like first thing in the morning. And it's strange because it gets easier as you go through the day. I don't know why. It's just, I think it's just psychologically your mind is gearing up for the day and what's ahead. And I think not going to work's helped, because I haven't had to think about, oh God, I've got to go in and take that first call, and is it going to be really busy? You know, we have this thing what's called a board, a screen basically, and it shows you the calls coming in, and let's just say it's very, very busy, very, very busy, and it's scary when you look at that board. You think, could that be an arrest that's waiting for us to answer the call? And the reality is, yes, there could be one there, but we've got no control over it. And that's what I found difficult lately. And I think that's where the anxiety has started, is that damn board staring at me in the face. Anyway, I'm sort of not going off topic, but I'm moving on to other things. So yeah, so I'm taking that time today, this afternoon, just to, you know, acknowledge, take some time to rest, and do what I enjoy. And yeah, there's no sort of there's no quick fix with this. Like, it just takes time, and I think acknowledging it is definitely the first step, and it is the right step. I've had anxiety for a long time now, and I know when I'm at that point where it's starting to affect my everyday life, and I know I need to do something about it. So yeah, and then I'm going to go to the gym again tonight. I think it's just so important, and it's made me realise, like, I can't really be relaxed about not doing exercise. Like, I don't feel like doing it. It's more like, I feel like exercise for me, this has definitely highlighted it, that it is most importantly for my mental health. Like, it's so important, and I do need to make sure I stay in a routine to help my mental health. So yeah, in terms of medication, the doctors said that they don't want to up my sertraline, and they want me to try and take some time off and to be kind to myself, and that's what I'm doing. And if any of you mums, parents, anyone really who's struggling with their mental health at the moment, just know that you do need to be kind to yourself, and acknowledging your mental health and how you're feeling is so important. Don't ignore it. It is a natural response. We as human beings were built to feel fear and all the symptoms that go with it, but modern life doesn't cater for that fear and doesn't help. And the things that you can't control are not worth worrying about. I wish I'd take my own advice sometimes, and I do struggle with that, but I know, like, deep down, like, the things that I'm worrying about I can't actually control. They're completely out of my control, and I'm not a control freak, but I do like to sort of know what's going to happen and be reassured that everything's going to be okay. And I think when you're a mum as well, like, especially now since I've had George, certain things affect me more than others. Like, before, if I had something traumatic to do with, or some sort of call about a child, or a teenager, or anything like that, I would just brush it off. It wouldn't affect, I wouldn't even think about it when I got home. Like, it wouldn't even enter my mind. But since having George, like, it does, and I need to realise, like, I have changed. When you become a mum, you do change. You change so much, and you're not the person you used to be. And sorry, I'm just take a deep breath. And yeah, you're not the person you used to be, and you just have to accept it. And there's things in life that you just can't control. And another thing that I do worry about, and I feel the thing I worry about to do with George, and that is from my own experiences. He's growing up now, like, he's far away from going to school, but I worry about the future for him and what it's going to be like for him going to school, and is he going to have friends, and will he be okay? And like, I worry about all of that because I hear about the things that happen to kids at school and their mental health, and how kids these days, their mental health is terrible. Like, it's not good. Like, there's a lot of kids out there that are really suffering with their mental health, and I really worry about that for George. So I'm trying to, again, acknowledge it and just think, well, George is a whole new person. He is a firecracker. He's determined, he's independent, he's very sociable. Like, I feel like he is going to be a very strong child, and I'm going to make sure that I bring him up to not have any fears, to go for anything that he wants to do, to be the person he wants, to not be in fear of what other people think of him, to just accept who he is. And if people don't like it, then basically tell him to jog on. And I wish I'd have done that when I was at school. I wish I'd have been that strong person. I wasn't. I was painfully shy, painfully shy. And I had a lot of anxiety at school. I think that's where my anxiety has stemmed from, for sure, is my experience at school with bullying and just generally teasing. And it's made me who I am today. I'm a very resilient person, but there are times, like at the moment, where my anxiety does take over and it affects my everyday life. And I wanted to be really honest with you guys and just, show you that, mum life isn't always perfect. Like, we're not perfect. I'm by no means a perfect mum. I try to be, and I feel a lot of mum guilt when I've been feeling a lot of mum guilt since feeling like this, and not wanting to do the normal things that I do with George and play and stuff. But I have to acknowledge it, and to be a good mum, I have to acknowledge my mental health and take it seriously and try and resolve it. And that's what I'm doing at the moment, guys. So yeah, I wanted to be really honest and open, and put forward these feelings that we do have, so other people can talk about them and feel like they're not alone. And talking to this camera has really helped, actually, and it's good to say it out loud, because I've so often in the past I've bottled things up and just gone, oh well, whatever, like, it's, that's just me, I'm being silly. But that actually made me spiral a few years ago, and that's what I worry about, and that's what I'm in fear of. So I'm glad I'm acknowledging it and trying to push through it, But yeah, I wanted to be honest with you guys and just, you know, show you that, you know, all these like perfect images of motherhood and all these perfect stories about when you become a mum, it's like, it's not reality really. And you know, there's moments in life where you can't always be a good mum, the best mum you can be. You can't always be on top form, and you know, being a mum is so hard. It's the hardest job in the world. When people say that, like before I had George, when people say, oh, being a parent's the hardest job in the world, I'd be like, really? Like, you don't have to go to work all the time, blah blah blah. Like, it's no joke, guys. Like, being a mum is the hardest thing in the world, and especially at the moment where George is a toddler, he's into everything. I have to keep my constant eye on him and the tantrums and everything. So, you know, they do test you, little humans test you. And when I've been, obviously, where I'm not feeling 100%, like, it does affect my patience. That's perfectly normal. And I think right now is a great time for me to just have some me time alone and just process how I've been feeling and try and push through it, and so I can get back to work and get back to normal life. But anyway, so yeah, like I said before, I wanted to be really honest with you guys and open. Please do leave any comments down below if you've been suffering with your mental health or you've got any mental health issues and you want to just chat. I'm always here, open for a chat. Follow me on Instagram, message me. Yeah, so I just wanted to tell you how I've been feeling and why I haven't been uploading as much. Yeah, so if you did enjoy this video and it helped, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.